Hello, and welcome back to a little extra serving of Reasons Are Several, which, as you might know, was shut down back in the spring. Neil, of course, has continued to podcast on his other show, Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks, so please listen and support them if you don't already. Outside of some guest spots here and there that I've done, haven't really been doing a lot of regular podcasting since we shut down, and we'll get into that, kind of where we are on that front and what might be coming in the future a bit later. What I have for you today is the first of 3 episodes that Neil and I recorded last month from Eugene, Oregon, during our annual guys trip to watch the Oregon Ducks play football. I would have posted these much earlier, but my home computer conveniently took a dump several weeks ago, and I just got it working enough to record this and patch these episodes together. In the first ep, we do some catch-up from what we've been up to since our last recording in April, including vacations, my new dog, our dads, etc. So I hope you enjoy that. The next episode will be released in a few days, and that was a live YouTube recording we did where we get into what's next for us, and we do a lot more interaction with folks who were kind enough to show up for the live show. Episode 3 was also done live on YouTube, but it's more of a standard show like we've done in the past. Anyway, I just want to say thanks again to all the people who have reached out to us asking when the show will be back. It really means a lot to us that so many people miss hearing us talk about total nonsense. But we definitely miss it, and we're working on what we might do in the future. For now, enjoy what we'll call Eugene 19, Episode 1. Hi, this is Reasons Are Several, a retired podcast with one white guy and one sort of brown guy.
You're not allowed to use that word anymore.
Who used to talk about total nonsense, but we wised up and quit doing it months ago. My name is Matt. With me is Neil.
No, you can't use that word.
Can't use what?
It's developmentally disabled. You can't say that word.
Fine. I won't say that word anymore. It was retired, not retarded, man.
Oh.
Come on.
My bad.
Yeah.
Kind of brown guy.
Yeah. I mean, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what. Let's look
passable.
back. Let's look back at your ancestry.
Microaggressions. You're saying passable.
Let's look at your ancestry, because frankly, our makeup was not that different. A lot of Spanish.
A lot of Jew.
Well, I didn't have the Jew.
Good.
I didn't have the Jew.
This is very sweet, however.
Oh, too sweet?
No. It's good. I think Annalise would really enjoy this.
We are drinking a 10-barrel pub beer, lager, in our room. We are recording this from Eugene, Oregon. This is the first time we have recorded since April.
10-Barrel Brewing Co., Bend Over, Oregon.
Oh, it's in Bend.
Yeah.
Why was I thinking? Well, they have a brewery. They have a shop in Portland. A shop.
They got a quaint little shop.
Anyway, we've been gone for a long time, and we decided it was a good opportunity to get together and shoot the shit and throw out an episode or two. So that's what we're doing today. But to get back to it,
yeah,
you were a lot of Spanish, a little bit of Jewish,
a lot of Greek.
Honestly, I don't have the Greek. I got some Turkish in me.
I got a little bit of that too.
Do you?
Yeah.
See, well, there's a lot of similarities going on here. So you're basically me.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say you're basically white. You're pretty much white. We're just going to call you white. Yeah, I got a lot of Greek. I think that's where more of the olive skin and maybe the lighter eyes come from.
Well, and
I am adorable.
Your ancestry is from Argentina. Is it? Do you say Argentinian or do you say Nazi? What do you say?
Both. We say Argentinazian.
Look it up.
Yeah. It's hard because being that I am, part Jewish and part Nazi.
So torn.
It's
inner
tough.
turmoil.
It is
going
tough.
on with you.
I think now people understand the anxiety. Why I can't sleep.
That's where it comes from. Yeah, so we've been off for quite a while. Neil is not. Neil's podcast, Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks, took a 3-week break? 2-week break?
No, a month.
Was it a month?
So 3 weeks, and then we said we want to come back, but then we took like another 3 weeks. So it really was like a month and a half.
Was it? Okay.
But we knew we were coming back.
Yeah. And I think at the time, I feel like we knew that at the time, that it was going to come back quickly.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people said, judging by what I said and Annalise said, that it sounded like we weren't sure about going. Mm-hmm. And then I missed it immediately. However, it was nice. Goddamn ducks. Jesus Christ.
We are backed up to a place called the Mill Race, which is this little run of water that's behind us and has a bunch of ducks in it.
It's cute. It's adorable.
It's a nice little background.
I'm like, what am I
nice
hearing?
Ambiance in the background.
Seriously ducks. But the nice thing that it did for me was that it made me realize that I do really enjoy podcasting.
But only with your wife.
No. But I didn't want to stress myself out with the vlog. Like I just did. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not freaking out about it. And so it's been nice. So for the last however many months it's been, like we released the vlog stuff. And really now that channel has kind of become a, what do you call it? Like a review and walkthrough videos.
Right.
Which I'm totally happy with.
Yeah.
That's like, I'm totally fine
Less
with
pressure.
that.
I like that.
Yeah. And the money as far as coming from the vlog really didn't take it. Nothing changed except for I'm not stressed about it. So I'm like, whatever.
But you quit 2 podcasts at the same time.
No. What happened was I got left in the cold by one podcast.
That's not true.
And then realized that it was solely the reason you didn't want to do Reasons Are Several was me, because have you stopped podcasting since then?
See, I have. I just don't do it on the regular. I do guest spots as people ask.
How many guest spots do you think you've done?
Since the end of this show? 4?
Oh, no.
Maybe.
No. I think you've been on our liner notes 4 times.
No, I was on our liner notes just once.
No.
Yeah, just the Oasis
You've been
Blur
2
one.
and 3. 2 and 3. 2 and 3. 2 on 3.
I did 2 on
4
3.
times.
No, maybe twice. Maybe.
You've been on How Was Your Week, Honey 4 times.
I was not on How Was Your Week, Honey since I've been off this show.
You've been on
You're just making up
Palmer's
lies.
new podcast
I have not been
8 times.
Palmer's new podcast.
You've been on Jason's and Cole's podcast.
I have been on maybe
8 times.
Maybe 4 total episodes since our
like I said,
demise.
40 episodes. So
yeah. No, and it's something that if you'd be listening to this now, it's already happened, but you can go back to youtube.com/Halos and Heathens, because we're going to talk about what happened, where we are now, what's next, etc. We're going to get into that tomorrow on a live recording, but by the time you hear this, it'll have already happened, but you can go back and watch the video of us talking about it, trying to figure out what to do next, because it's tough. It's been a lot of things I've missed about it. Some things I've been like, God, it's so nice to not have that.
there is that occasional Tuesday afternoon where I'm like, I'm so glad we're not podcasting right now.
Right. So that's what we have to figure out. But there's been a lot of stuff going on. It's been a busy summer. I can walk through a few things if you'd like. We can talk about your stuff too.
Let's get into it.
It all started really with in May. So I was already trying to plan for this when we still had the show going. Like, what am I going to do when I'm gone for a couple of weeks? I was going to have some pre-records, but didn't have to do that and ended up going to the East Coast. I guess I was on How Was Your Week, Honey? You're right. Because I talked about this trip.
Yeah.
Because I saw the Meyers, Chris and Kristen Meyer, from Canada. I saw them in May when I was back in New York. We ran into each other. Well, we didn't run into each other. We kind of planned it.
I was going to say.
Whoa, imagine that.
That would be hilarious. That'd be like us walking to the game and they're there and we're like, oh my God, this
Holy
is
shit.
so weird.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Well, Chris and I had planned it. Krista didn't know it was happening. But yes, we surprised her.
Wow.
Have you not heard this story? Did you not listen to that episode? You probably didn't. You
Probably
fucking
not.
bastard.
Probably not.
I'm
still not over our breakup.
Okay. Well, Chris and I, just a quick summary. Chris and I had spoken, and he was telling me about how he was planning this trip for Kristen for her 40th birthday. I don't know what that was. And how he was... What is that?
I don't know.
Is it a plane?
We're all going to die.
Okay. Anyway, so he was telling me about it. I said, oh, that's funny. We're going to be in New York on these dates the week you're there. He's like, what? So we ended up making an arrangement where we were over doing Statue of Liberty stuff.
I'm sure you were overdoing it.
Yeah, we were. With the kids and all.
Oh, wow.
You know.
Their kids and your kids?
No, not their kids, just our kids.
And they, if I remember correctly, they have 2 girls and you have 2 boys.
True.
So it could have freaking been.
This is like a weird extra Brady Bunch mashup.
Oh my God.
Here's the story
Could you imagine
2 lovely ladies and 2 handsome men, or whatever they say.
Could you imagine that video? Man.
The grid on the screen would be bananas. It would be all over the place. And we don't have an Alice. So
I would have been your Alice.
No. So anyway, we met up with them. We went to Boston, went to a bat mitzvah, you know, your people. And that was a lot of fun. And I'm trying to think what else we did. We went to a Red Sox game, which is awesome.
Oh, you know what? I do think I heard this episode.
Yeah, so you'd heard this.
Yeah.
We gave you the breakdown.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. Went to New York, did a bunch of touristy shit, and then went to DC and saw a bunch of stuff there. So it was an awesome trip. And it's been kind of that sort of summer, because then I went up to Seattle in June for like a golf trip.
Did DC tickle your political taint at all?
How do you say? How would you?
Well, I know your family was involved in politics. Oh, it's the sliding glass door upstairs.
Sorry, folks.
Oh,
Sorry
shit.
for the background
Scaring
noise.
the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I know that your
my family is still
slightly, just
still,
a little bit, but
still,
not really. I mean, kind
still,
of on the periphery. I mean,
still
they
involved.
didn't really get into it. You know, it's not like they were involved.
If you're watching C-SPAN every now and again, you might catch my brother in the background.
I was going to say, but I know you had some interest as well as some stimulation brought on by some of your earlier years about politics, and we've talked about it a bit. And I was wondering, like, being there, were you like, maybe I could be on Crooked Media?
No, this was not a political trip whatsoever.
No.
We did a lot of touristy stuff. It was just a family trip. It was fun. Short-lived.
Not even while you were talking to Kristen, no politics came up.
I don't think we talked about politics.
Really?
I don't think so.
Wow.
No. She likes to talk politics, but no, we did not. So it was a good trip.
So you and John Fabs you're not going to go do that podcast
Wait,
now.
do you mean the fat one?
No, the good one.
Oh, I still don't understand what your beef is with him.
Well, the funny thing is I really like everything he does. So
Yeah.
I don't understand what my beef is
it
with
his
him.
face? You're just like, fuck that guy's face.
It might be, but like the new episodes of Chef are out, and I'm totally excited to
So
watch
what's your
them.
problem?
I don't know, man.
Weird.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's like how some people just hate cops. I
Whoa,
think it's like I hate Fabs.
just
No, not Fabs. I hate Favreau. Fabs I like.
because Favs is the skinny one.
I don't think it's because he's skinny. Well, we talked about it today. I find bigger people adorable.
Shit, we're not getting into that. I did want to talk to you though about Outside Lands. Is that what it's called?
OSL, yeah, baby.
OSL.
Outside Lands.
Okay.
Bring it.
Because outside is one word.
Right, but they call it OSL.
Not OL.
Like Hardly Strictly Bluegrass is called HSB.
Really? Okay. Anyway.
3 letters, baby. You get bigger than that.
Fine.
Like, that's why NASA never worked out.
Should have just been NAS.
That's it, yeah.
So what was the most trying part of that? Because every year you do this huge setup. You post these pictures on Instagram. I see the build. You have the event. I'm sure there's just douchebags everywhere, although there's probably a lot of nice people too.
Right.
But then you do the whole fucking cleanup step. So like, what was the experience this year? Who were the main acts, and were there any funny stories?
The hardest part this year is that my boss and good friend retired 2 days into the beginning of the build of Outside Lands.
I didn't realize it was that time.
I was not expecting that.
Oh boy.
So I had to take over his position, as well as, and we did talk about it on a Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks episode, as well as mourn the loss of not being at work with my good friend of whom I've worked with for 24 years.
Right.
So that was the hardest part.
Okay.
Was the emotional, because I was in tears for the first 4 days easily.
And your crew is like, "Hey man, we're just building the stage."
Not yeah.
I can't do it.
Not in front of them, fortunately, but like I'd be out doing stuff kind of, I mean, it's a 16-acre field, so I'd be out doing some on my own and just in tears, not sobbing, but actual like wiping tears away, and then being overwhelmed because I was the anxiety was building up because of the loss, that I was all of a sudden overwhelmed by like, oh, how am I going to do this, man? I don't want to do this. I got to do all this other stuff. I got to be in charge now. I don't want. Not realizing like I've been doing it the whole time,
Right. There's nothing more sad than watching a guy mow a lawn bawling.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. You're setting a gopher trap and you're just on your knees crying, and people are like, what is wrong? And what was funny was like people would ask, they're like, where's your boss? And I'd tell them, and they're like,
just immediately start bawling.
Well, it was funny. I wouldn't even have to bawl. And the first thing they'd say is like, are you okay? That's got to be weird for you. And I'm like, yeah, I know,
Where's Roger? What?
Yeah, what? So that was the hardest thing. The most fun thing, and I think the best thing, was also that it tied into that, was that it went really, really well this year. Not that, I mean, Roger ran it amazingly when he did, but just being able to take that step and enjoying it as much as I did towards the end, and having people go like, oh fuck, this is really cool. This is awesome. We're happy you're doing this. And that was fun. And towards the end of it, of getting out of, I realized afterwards that it was the best scenario dealing with the loss of Roger, because I was so busy and the hours were so long, and it was so different than the daily stuff, that when that was all over and we actually had to go back to our normal schedule, I wasn't any longer thinking about the loss of a friend anymore as much as, oh, I got to get this shit done.
Maybe he planned it that way.
He may have.
Be busy.
He may have.
Too busy to cry.
He may have.
No, not too busy to cry.
No, he knew I'd cry.
Too busy to to stay in the crying.
Well, knowing when that we were getting towards that part, I would tell him all the time. I'm like, dude, I'm going to be at work crying, and I didn't realize it until after he retired. But the week before he left, I was telling him, I'm like, look, I know this isn't a huge deal for you. I know you're not super emotional guy and all that, but I just want you to know that I really appreciate. And he kept saying, he's like, no, you don't understand how hard it's going to be.
Oh,
He's like, it is that way. And when Annalise and I did the podcast and I talked in depth about this, I sent it to his wife, and she sent me back a message saying, oh, he already listened, and he got teary-eyed.
Oh boy.
And she's like, you mean so much more to him than I think he's able to express normally.
Right.
And so,
because he's an older guy who doesn't want to express his emotions.
yeah, definitely. He's definitely like, he was born almost 30 years too late. He would have been a great, like, beat your kids, ignore your wife guy.
He just didn't have that luxury.
Right. So that was the best part, was just realizing, like, oh, it went well, and I felt comfortable and had a good time doing it. As far as funny stories,
did you not have anybody who did anything outlandish?
Not really. No, there was like no buried kegs or guys wearing stupid shirts like, freaking Dick
Right.
Buster.
Well,
or
and you're
whatever.
just there. You're just witnessing these things. It's not like you're
Right.
managing any of it, right?
There was one thing. I got a call from somebody saying, so we have a lot of geese, Canadian geese on the field. I got a call from someone saying that there was a wounded goose on the far end of the field, and people were taking selfies with it.
Oh,
and they
shit.
thought it wasn't, they thought it was sick, obviously, of a goose, and what to do. So I'm like, I'm not going to be able to get animal control in here. So one of the guys I was working with, I said, hey, do you mind walking down to the far end of the field and looking for a goose that people are taking selfies with? So he went and he came back. And I mean, it takes forever to get through the crowd. And he came back and he's like, man, I'm sorry there's no goose. And I thought, I just literally sent him on a wild goose chase.
Oh, fuck.
And I told him,
I was hoping there was going to be this dramatic moment where you had to go down and pick the goose up in your arms and carry it through the crowd.
Well,
to safety.
If he found it, that's exactly what I was going to do.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Be like officer and a gentleman moment or something.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Love lift us up where we
there
belong.
You go. See? I would.
Wait, what was the first? Was dun 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 dun? Is that Chariots of Fire?
That you're trying to sing Chariots of Fire, which does not match this situation.
No. Well, the goose maybe was going to run.
Well, could.
You tried to run away from me.
Dun, 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 dun.
There
That's
you go.
It. Yeah. Chariots of Fire.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I'm glad it all worked out in the end and that you've moved on from Roger.
Mm-hmm.
And then you went straight to Jamaica.
Whoa.
A couple weeks.
No, I had
3
a
weeks.
while. Yeah.
3 weeks?
About a month.
Oh, it was a month. Okay.
About a month. Yeah.
And you've talked about that on Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks.
Yep.
You can get all the stories there.
Good time.
You were there for 2 weeks.
Yep.
In your hoity-toity little fucking vacation that you go on every year. Every year. You go on vacation.
Yeah, at least once a year.
Yeah. Anyway. I was going to tell you about...
Well, I'll book for next year. I'm hoping that one year you and your lady friend...
No.
No? Not going to happen? All right. Fair enough.
I'm not really a beach guy.
There's a lot of stuff to do.
The beach is fine, but it's just not my my jam.
They have a brand new basketball court.
Oh, I'll fly to Jamaica to play basketball.
Well, and to drink and to eat, snorkeling, diving.
I love playing hoops in Jamaica, man.
It would not be fun.
I didn't say mon. I said man.
It would not be fun. It would be brutal.
I was going to tell you that I went to, and I think I might have mentioned this to you, I went and saw a live recording of How Did This Get Made? Did I tell you this?
Yes. No. It was funny because Annalise says, do you know Matt's had a live recording of How Did This Get Made? And I'm like, no.
Yeah. It was fucking awesome.
How was it?
It was great. So it was at the Keller Auditorium in Portland. And
what movie?
Took Lady Fran. There was a movie called 222. Which I would like to subtitle The Chris Meyer Story.
Oh, okay. Rich white guy in Canada?
The guy is an air traffic controller. Technically, he's like a tower controller. So he's not necessarily talking to the flights. He's managing the whole
people.
Yeah.
Right. He's got to pull the people if they're just screwing up.
He's technically organizing all the flights and how they come in and he's got a team of people under him, and it's the most ridiculous movie you've ever seen.
Yeah.
The visuals are crazy. He's fucking there's like this boar where
before we get into that,
yeah.
no. Before we get into that, explain to me how the whole thing works. Do you go watch the movie there?
No, you watch it in advance.
Okay.
So you get told like 3 weeks in advance. They say, okay, this is the movie you're supposed to watch.
So you buy the tickets first.
So I bought the tickets already.
And then they tell you.
Then they tell you the movie. You
Okay.
don't know what you're going to see.
Gotcha.
So then I tell lady friend what we're going to see. And then, a couple weeks go by. And then all of a sudden it's Thursday night. I have hockey on Friday. The show's on Saturday. And she's like, we got to watch the movie tonight. It's like, I fucking forgot about that. So we sat down and watched this movie and banged it out. The movie.
Oh.
And it's hilarious. I mean, they're looking for stuff that's just absurd. And it was very funny, and it was very, unintentionally. And
did they have a guest?
They didn't. So I thought they would. I'm so used to them having somebody
Was it
come
the
out.
three of them? Was June
It was
there?
just the three.
Oh, cool. So
Yeah.
June was, because she
was there.
she hasn't been in a lot.
Right.
She's, I guess,
she was pimping
working.
her book. She's got that book out.
That's right.
And so there was
I
a
heard
whole,
it's really good.
You could buy a ticket to get like an MVP, a
meet and
VIP, like meet and greet after. I thought it was just to like get the book signed. And I was like, I don't know. Do we want to do that? It was like, oh, fuck it. We won't do it. And then later on I saw pictures. Jason's there.
Oh,
fucking
nice.
Paul's there. I should have goddamn gone.
Yeah.
But I didn't. But anyway. So it was weird to see them all in person. It's weird to see it live. We were in the 5th row. I got fucking great tickets.
Nice. Expensive?
No, not bad. And all the tickets were the same price.
Oh, really?
I just got in early.
Okay.
So I was able to get us 5th row tickets, and like on the aisle, it was awesome seats. We're like right there. You can see it. He comes out. It's really interesting to see it in person because he comes out and like warms up the crowd. Like he comes out and tells you what's going to happen, all the different logistics. He picks out the people who sing the second opinion songs in advance. He's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and picks them all out, and they all come up. Or they don't come up then. They later on. He kind of just goes over all the ground rules, the stuff they're going to talk about, etc. It's really interesting to see kind of that setup, and he kind of just gets everybody going. And then he brings
What's up, jerks?
Then he brings out Jason, and then they talk for a little bit, and then he brings out June. So it was fucking funny. And when you've seen this movie, when you've talked to your partner about it a little bit and you've joked about some of the silliness, but then to hear them just articulate all of it.
I didn't see the movie.
Pretty funny. Well, you should see it. It's pretty bad.
We said talk to your partners. I didn't see it.
You're not my partner.
Oh. Wow.
But the movie is called
Now start
222.
playing Blaze of Glory underneath
You should
this
go
thing.
see 222. It only came out 2 years ago.
Oh.
It was an Australian American film. All the the main guy is Dutch, but a lot of the actors are Australian. It was filmed mostly in Australia, but it's all about this guy who lives in New York City and is like working at JFK.
Very nice.
So
I'm looking forward to hearing it. I'll know you're there when I hear it.
I don't know what the episode number is. It was funny. I took a picture. I can't remember if I sent it to you or not.
No.
He came up and asked a woman who was sitting next to us, like, how to get over us to get out so she could ask her question. She asked kind of a stupid question.
Right.
I had a couple questions in mind. I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
But he was standing right there. It was kind of cool. He had this fucking horrible mustache he was growing. But it was really cool to see him.
Paul Scheer?
Paul Scheer, yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a fun show.
That's great.
Definitely go check that out.
I want to go check one of those out live.
222.
They did one in San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
So the two podcasts I'd like to see live is I'd like to see our Cricket Media live.
They just came
Yeah.
to Portland also.
Yeah.
But I was gone.
They were also in Vegas for The Life is Beautiful, and they were in San Jose also.
Oh, okay. That's a hike for you though, San Jose.
Yeah. Yeah. But if we did a whole night, like, we go down there early, have a hotel room, come back.
Sure.
It would be fun. I don't know if Annalise would enjoy that much. She's not huge into politics. She kind of likes to know what's good and what's bad. And aside from that,
Yeah.
but the how did this get made, I think she'd be into.
Yeah. Well, it would be worth seeing once for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would definitely see how did this get made again, just because they're so funny. Manzukis just kills me.
Oh yeah.
So it's funny to see him live.
Right.
So
And there's things I'd like to, like, I'm sure there's questions I'd come up with, but sometimes the questions are always so self-serving.
Oh, totally. Everybody's just looking to get noticed.
I said, I think this, so I'm going to ask it in a form of a question.
Right.
I wish somebody would just go out there and go, when this happened, I didn't like it, and just leave it at that.
Right.
Be like, that's not a question. No, it's not.
Well, and what's real interesting too is there's a couple things. One is he says, hey, stuff that we talk about that doesn't get on the show, keep it to yourself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like he's like, sometimes we talk shit, so don't fucking tell anybody.
Oh, that's cool.
Which that was funny. But the other thing is just as far as the logistics of those people getting up and singing, he points them all out. They all line up toward like later in the show, and then he has them come up one by one and do their bit. And there were fucking amazing singers, people with great voices doing all these songs. It was unbelievable. And there were like 12 of them that came up.
Well, sometimes all the times, especially late in the last couple of years, the ones on the podcast are freaking amazing.
They always pick like one or two.
Yeah.
But there's really, really good ones.
Yeah.
So it was impressive to see. Should we talk about my white guy dog?
Oh, yes. By all means.
Why don't you explain that to me?
A white guy dog?
Yeah, why is it a white guy dog?
Bought by a breeder and stereotypical thought of as a good family dog.
Oh my God. Okay, well.
So what kind of dog did you get?
Dang and dang.
What kind of dog did you get?
We got a yellow English lab.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet dog.
And the difference between an English and an American lab?
English labs are a little bit smaller and they're a little more boxy in their faces.
And their tails are
they different?
fatter. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess that's true. Yeah, I didn't think about.
Yeah.
He's a very sweet dog.
I see you really care about him. You don't even fucking know what he looks like.
Well, I know what he looks like, but I don't know what another lab looks like because I don't pay attention to their tails.
When you put a bunch of labs together, can you tell them apart?
Probably not.
No.
Probably not. They all look the same.
You talking the white labs, yellow labs, black labs? Which ones are you talking about?
All those yellow labs look the same. Wait, that doesn't sound right. It has taken some getting used to have a dog because I was always more.
Now I'm a little surprised you got a dog because we had talked about it a bit before because I'm always talking about our dogs and you were not.
Oh, you have dogs?
Had dogs. You were not totally on the dog train.
Well, for a couple reasons. One,
now you like dogs. That I don't want to make it sound like you didn't like dogs.
I like dogs. I like other people's dogs.
You certainly didn't seem. Yeah, you seemed like you didn't want to deal with a dog.
No, I didn't. And I was used to cats. So I had a couple cats for quite a while and until I had them killed. And then...
Well, it's when you went from being gay to being straight. You're like, I like cats. Oh, kill them. No, I'm joking. Totally.
I joked with a lady friend when it came time to get the vet for the dog because we had a different vet for our cats. And she said, oh, God, I was going to ask them a question about something, but I don't want them to find out that we went to another vet. And I was like, well, then if they ask, you just say, well, you killed our cats. So
right. Well,
we had to go with someone else.
As we have talked about, we call our vet the assassin.
Right.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
So I was very much not interested or motivated to get a dog. My kids were.
Great way to start the story about your pet.
It's true. I'm just being honest here.
No, I like just keep it 100.
It's my kids and my lady friend very much wanted to get a dog, and for a long time, she has always loved dogs to the point where we were out early on in our relationship, and we were walking down the street to meet some friends at a place for dinner, or drinks, or whatever, and she started like shaking like back and forth and goes, oh my God, I think he's just as excited as I am. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I look over and there's this dog shaking its ass like she is. They're like shaking each other. Like they were all excited to see each other. I was like, what is going on here? She loves dogs.
Nice.
And so my boys, of course, anytime we go somewhere, oh, can I pet your dog? Can I pet your dog? So they're all about it. So they love the dogs. When I told them about going and seeing you guys and telling them about, they were all into that, like the dog, asking about the dogs.
And if I remember correctly, that when Zero got sick, didn't the younger one was like, hey, let them know I hope Zero's okay?
I think it was the older one. Yeah.
Older one. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So they have been wanting to get a dog for a long time. And then it turned into this whole stupid thing where at some point I said to my lady friend, I was like, oh, can I have the boys watch like Lord of the Rings? Because they haven't watched that yet. And I think they're probably old enough now. And she's like, when we get a dog, they can watch it. And I was like, what? That doesn't make, why would that?
So like when I got a C on my report card, my mom made me cut my hair. I'm like, I don't think that's how that works.
That doesn't make sense.
Right, fair enough.
So I said, oh, okay, well then they won't watch it. Like, fine. You win.
Yeah.
So we went along for a while, and then she just like progressed along the line of, I'm talking to a breeder. We're going to be getting a dog now. So it's like, well, I guess we'll watch the damn movies. So we watched the movies, and then she turned it into, well, you had to watch the movies. That's why we got the dog. I was like, no. You had already started the process.
This is the best.
Lord of the Rings and dogs is not the same thing at all. I enjoyed the movies. I don't like them that much.
Right.
I just thought that they would enjoy seeing them. That's all. But you made it a thing.
I'm going to try that. Annalise is going to be like, hey, do you want to have dinner now? I guess I'm getting a new car stereo now.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, fucking
it doesn't make any sense.
That's awesome.
She fucking spun it that way, though. God, so manipulative.
Are you allowed to say the name of your dog?
Yeah.
All right.
He's called Doggy Friend.
That's awesome. Pup friend.
His name is Rocky.
Rocky
is his name.
Where did the name come from?
A lot of names were kicked around, and my only rule with the dog was that I said I can veto names because I don't want us having some stupid name.
Right.
I pushed for Shithead because I've always liked the movie The Jerk.
Right.
And so I told my lady friend, I was
Taking
like,
this chair.
Can we call him Shithead?
Taking this paddle and ball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not you, shithead. So she can go for that. And so they threw out a bunch of names. None of them I really liked. And then they said something about Rockwell. And they're like, oh, but we'll call him Rocky. And I was like, Rocky's not bad. So we went with
That's
Rocky.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good name. I call him Rock or The Rock.
Oh, I didn't even catch that, but that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah. Or
Can
I
you
just
smell what The Rock is cooking?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That, or I say your dog. I say that a lot.
Right.
Say your dog did this today.
Yeah.
She's
Your
like,
dog
it's
shit on the carpet
your dog too. I'm like, I guess sort of.
Oh, like they're my kids too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Can we get that test?
Yeah.
Anyway, but now it's great because my whole house smells like dog and fucking everything is
Hair?
wet. Everything is wet.
Is there hair?
There's hair and everything's wet all the time. And I don't know where that wet comes from.
Well, I would say that you guys are fortunate in the sense that you
Have such a huge palatial estate.
well, that too, but your hours are kind of goofy with your your finance stuff. So
Right.
I would imagine
because of all the markets.
right. I would imagine that what is it, the Shanghai or Shanghai? Or,
Yeah, it's the Hong Kong markets that keep me up at night.
So since you're up late, it's not a big deal as a puppy to get up and let the puppy out. Let
Interesting.
Dwayne out.
Dwayne, interesting you asked that question. Well, here's the thing. So,
Dwayne, by the way, Under Armour guy.
oh, well, then we're going to have to rename the dog. No, so to Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's a Nike guy.
Oh, yeah, but he's a little dude that got smacked up in a
That's true.
muscle car.
Good point. But, so what was your question?
So because of your hours.
Oh, yes. So here's the thing. When we got him, I almost said the dog because that's how I say all the time.
That's fair enough.
He is a dog.
Yeah, and you do say the kid. I mean, it's
The
not.
kid, yeah,
it's
whatever.
Not, it's not a derogatory
No,
term.
it's fine. He's a dog.
Yeah.
He's a dog. So he's been great with his crate.
It's not like you said the four-legged shit machine,
right?
You know,
Or shithead.
yeah.
He's been great with his crate. You put him in his crate, he's kind of fine with it. We would put him down. I just shouldn't say put him down. That's a bad term to use.
Yeah.
Have him. I was saying put him to sleep.
We put him to sleep when we put him down. I really don't like this dog.
When we take him to bed,
Yeah.
he was always kind of no fuss about it. It was totally fine. And so then there were different times where
So you're good dog parent. You're not like us. You're good dog parents.
what, because you guys just let him fucking roam free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's more about we just wanted to train him this way. We know eventually we won't have him sleep in a crate. But
Sure.
for now, we kind of want him.
I think it's the right way to go.
well, especially
I think
because he's
it's
a puppy.
smart.
He wants to fucking eat everything.
Oh, so we
He eats
never
everything.
had that problem. Oh, we see. Well, you met my dogs. They chew only their toys and their blankets. They
Right.
don't chew anything.
Yeah, they're good dogs.
I wouldn't say that. I would just say that we were lucky they don't chew stuff.
Right, but this guy is in full puppy mode and wants to fucking eat everything on the
Right.
goddamn planet. I mean, one day I found him. I had a meeting going on and I forgot to close the door to our bedroom, and he knows not to go upstairs. But he
Underwear?
did anyway.
Right.
Went upstairs. I find him in the
like
room.
that he knows not to go
Rocky,
upstairs.
don't go upstairs.
Yeah.
Rocky, down.
Yeah.
So he went upstairs, went in the closet.
Dwayne.
I walk up, I find Dwayne sitting there on the floor with his paws out like, what's up, bro? And he's got my fucking, one of my wife's shoes just fucking ripped to shreds.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, great. Now I get to explain to her.
Pump?
I was the dumbass.
Pump, heel,
It
tennis
was,
shoe,
what shoe was it? It might have been a, what are those things called?
stiletto,
No,
stirrup.
those, but they're like the high.
Oh, yes, the high wedge.
Yeah, but what is it called? Anyway,
Yeah.
I'll figure it out later.
All right.
Anyway, I tell her, and she's like, "Oh, I was gonna get rid of those anyway." I was like, "Thank God, you ate the right ones."
shoe, yeah.
But we got him crate trained, and he's great about it. And we also did something that I was not aware of. I talked about this, I think, on the 2-on-3 pod when I was on.
Right, when you're not on other podcasts.
I was on another podcast.
Right.
The bell trick. I didn't know this whole bell trick.
Right.
Where you put the bell in the door and they fucking hit the bell and they gotta go to pee. I didn't know that whole trick.
Right.
And everybody's like, "Oh yeah, of course." I was like, "I didn't fucking know that." Cats don't do that.
Right.
They
right.
just go shit in the fucking box.
Right.
But he's gotten real good about that. And so there's just been times where he has like digestive issues and fucking all of a sudden you hear him yipping at like 3 a.m. and you got to go let him out.
Right.
And he just fucking diarrhea everywhere.
Yeah. That's part of being a puppy.
But for
too.
the most part, he's been pretty good. Now, one night, he's yipping. So I get up. It's 3 a.m. I go downstairs. I let him out. He runs outside. And as he goes outside, because we have a patch of grass, a little yard in front of our house.
Right. They have that lake.
Huge in the lake right by the pond.
Right. The lake by the pond. I like that.
So he runs out to the grass. And he goes out first because he's always on a mission and he wakes up in the middle of the night. He's like, I got to fucking go. I got to go.
Yeah.
Let's go. I got to go. So he goes out there. I start walking out and I say, all right, Rock, let's make it quick. The second I talk, I hear fucking claws on the pavement. So our house, just for people who know, there's like a little semicircle street and there's like only 7 houses on it. It's just a little road.
Yeah.
I hear the fucking
Golf
claws.
course in the back.
Yeah, right. I hear the claws on the pavement and a fucking like bolt. That dog is behind me in a half a second, standing behind me. And I look up, I'm like, what the fuck was that? So, and we live in an area where we see deer come through all the time. We see coyotes, etc. So I've got my flashlight. It's one of those fucking big mag lights, but it was kind of low on batteries. Mm-hmm. So I'm shining it over 2 doors down from us in our neighbor's house. And I see this fucking thing. And its eyes are staring at us. And I'm looking at it going, because the light's kind of bad. I'm like, it's not a coyote. It's too big for a coyote. It's not a deer because its fucking head is right next to its shoulders and it's like slurking along like a fucking that's a cougar.
Oh, wow.
So that guy almost got me killed. Rock almost got me killed by a fucking cougar.
Yeah.
And I told my lady friend after, I said, I just want to let you know, if I'm outside and a cougar attacks and goes after our dog, I'm going inside.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, you shit.
Yeah.
You're more important than the dog.
I do like that the dog wasn't the typical stupid puppy and's like, what is that? I'm going to go check it out.
Well, but here's what happened. He darts behind me. The second he realizes that the thing is bolted, immediately back to the yard. He's like, I got shit, man.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta
go.
I gotta go.
So I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'll pick that shit up in the morning.
Yeah.
And this thing just stood there and fucking stared at us. It was creepy as shit.
Did you see the video of the lady in Canada who got stalked by, mountain lion, cougars, pumas? They're all pretty much the same animal. Yeah. She was hiking and the frickin' cougar is maybe 50 yards in front of her and all of a sudden goes frickin' crouchy stealth and is just staring at her. And she's like super calm and she's like, bad kitty, go away. And she's like sitting there and she's like, I didn't think what to do. So she frickin' turned on a Metallica song on her phone and held it out to the cougar.
No.
Yeah. And played it in the frickin' cougar.
Started headbanging.
Cougar ran away. And then I
know why?
I think
why?
What?
Because it fucking hates Lars Ulrich, like everybody else does.
Probably. And then instead of going home, she finished her walk and just put the song on repeat.
Fucking badass.
Canada.
Badass.
Canada.
Yeah,
so
there's
that in mind next time. And tonight.
There's a whole list of steps they give you where they're like, these are the things you should do if you encounter a cougar. First, clean up the poop in your pants.
Right.
Second is make yourself big.
Right.
Fucking yell and be loud.
Right.
Don't
run.
Give them a way to go.
Don't run.
Don't turn your back on them. Give them a way
and
to.
Don't block if it's like a trail.
Give them a way to get out.
Yeah.
Right. All that kind of stuff. If you have a small pet or a child,
pick that sucker up.
Pick them up on your back, etc. Yeah. So there's all those little.
Well, if you have a small pet, throw the pet at the cougar.
Yeah. Right. We've talked about this.
Well,
before.
if you have a small child.
Right.
You can outrun a small
Slowest
child.
man loses.
That's it. Yeah, I know for mountain biking, because there's, especially in Marin, there's a lot of, cats out there.
Right.
They say you're supposed to, get off your bike, you put your bike on its rear wheel and put the bike between you and the cougar.
Yeah.
And then make a bunch of noise.
Right.
But when you're riding and you see one of those, the only thing that goes through your mind is ride faster, which is the worst thing you can do.
Right, because it wants to chase you.
Yeah, I'm going to
there's a video in where is it? I want to say Ukraine, but it's where these guys are on bikes and all of a sudden this fucking thing comes running out from the side and tries to jump on one of them. Yeah. I mean, that shit happens. It's not that uncommon.
Not good.
So that was scary. He's constantly blowing himself. So that's kind of tough to deal with.
With the stiff pee-pee?
So the stiff pee-pee only happened recently where we were sitting there waiting for the boys because we go meet him partway on their walk home.
And how old is he now?
He is 4 and change. 4 months.
So he's discovering his little section. And has he been fixed yet?
No. So I think you wait till 6 months or so, don't you, for that?
Well, we were told when I got Seven's the only dog I actually got from a breeder, and wouldn't.
Oh, so you had a white guy dog, but it was a Doberman, so it doesn't count.
Well, yeah, it's okay. It's kind of like
a really rich white guy
buying guns. Right, you can go to a gun store. Never mind. You know what? This is going to get me in trouble.
Let's move along.
Anyway, yes, Dobermans are known as the white guy dog
because they're the guard dogs.
They are the guard dogs. Yeah. Usually to guard like crack and stuff. Though.
Well, not necessarily
Ferraris.
I don't know.
but she would not let me get 7 fixed until he was over 9 months, because that's how long. I'm not sure if this is true, but it sounds true. That's how long the male dogs need to make sure that they get enough testosterone, like in their muscles, so they develop fully and their bones are strong.
We haven't talked to the vet about it yet. I'm not sure.
7 died, I guess not too young, but a little younger than he should have. So it might be.
Maybe it was your fault.
Probably.
No, we'll talk to the vet about it. I don't know. I know that it's at least 6 months. Maybe it is 9. I don't know. But I just remember I'm thinking about cats. Cats were always about 6 months before you got them spayed.
And that's what sucks about rescues is that they're fixed super, super young. So they, like 9 has a little leaking issue because she was fixed so young that her body didn't go through any sort of changes that it should have. And Zero's just, well, you've met Zero.
He's cuckoo pants.
Just crazy.
He's a sweet dog.
He is, but he's just
cuckoo pants.
So crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, so he licks his balls a lot, and then he just sits there and makes that noise. He like moans. It's noise, and he's going like, and I'm like, God, dude, I can't. So I have to fucking crank up my podcasts that I'm listening to.
Right. So you don't hear
get that sound out of there. It's horrible. And he pees like a girl.
Isn't it? That'll happen for a long time.
Does it? Like when does that switch?
A long time. I don't think 7 started lifting a leg till he was like 2.
Okay, yeah, he still pees straight, with the legs wide.
So. And 0, if he's peeing on the grass, doesn't lift legs, but will lift leg like peeing on a tree to mark. But if he's on a flat surface, he just
to mock.
However, 9 will lift her leg when she's on the grass.
What?
She'll like squat and she pulls one leg up.
Oh, interesting.
It's not like a full lift, but one leg up.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Anyway, it has been a great experience. There's certainly times where I'm like, oh God, like we have to deal with this shit and all that. And we had to board the dog when we went to Ohio because we went to Ohio for a little family reunion, and the boarder was great. She was sending us pictures all fucking day long. And
that's good for the dog too.
Yeah, because then he gets time to play with other dogs. He has lots of room to roam.
Well, it's also good. I mean, that is the one interesting thing because of your finance job is that if somebody, like if one of you are always around, it never learns that it's okay that you'll be gone and come back. So
I don't know that he wanted us to come back. He was having a blast.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know for us for a while when our dogs were puppies, we would board them even if we were home just so they
got used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going well.
You sound thrilled.
I like the dog a lot. It wasn't my first choice. Let's just say that.
What did you, this kind of dog or getting a dog?
Getting a dog, period. No, this kind of dog is great. He's great. And we've been real lucky with his behavior and all that stuff. But I wanted to say, should we talk really quickly about my dad and how he's doing, or maybe about how you deserted your father to go on a vacation that you go on every year while he was in recovery? Should we talk about that, or should we talk about me and my dad and how I'm so rough on my dad?
Well, we either one. It was tough. It was tough. I did not want to go, and my parents, both of them, said that they would feel terrible if I went. Mm-hmm. Oh, which is funny. Hold on a second. I wanted to. Speaking of that, I want to see if I have. Yeah, so my dad sent me a text saying, "Feeling good. Thank you for being there for Mom and I." And that was sent Wednesday at 11:33 after I got back from my trip. So do you have a similar text from your dad?
I do have some text from my dad. I just
he
have
even
my phone
sent me
handy.
a GIF of some guy raising his arms in the snow.
Some guy? You don't know who that is?
Is that the hiking movie with Sylvester Stallone?
No, that is Rocky 4, and that is him climbing to the top of the mountain, and he's screaming, "Drago!"
Okay, so he sent me an old Italian guy,
right?
And
which I'm pretty sure means he wants to beat you up.
Reading again, feeling good. Thank you for being there for Mom and I. 3 hearts.
Yeah, because he feels like he should thank you. But really, you could have done more.
But just again,
I mean, you took off for 2 weeks. You had to go to the tropics. Okay.
He sent me don't just pull out your dad's texts.
I don't have my phone handy, man. It's over there.
So yeah, we can talk about how much my dad thanked me for everything I did for him.
My dad thanked me a lot. He knew that I was there for him every step of the way on his operation. I didn't go on vacation. I was there for him.
You weren't even around.
What do you mean I wasn't even around?
You left him in a home.
No, I didn't leave him in a home.
I was there with a recovery facility?
He went to a recovery facility afterward because they literally told us you should go to a recovery facility.
And you said, I agree 100%.
And I'm going to go home. I said, if that's what's going to work best, so then I would go visit him all the time.
And then he sent you a text
saying, "Get me out of here. Help.
Why did you do this to me? I'm not that old.
I promise I'll leave money to you. Get me out of here.
Yeah, he writes back, I'm not poor. What are you doing?
You know you're draining your own funds right now.
Right. You idiot. You're the finance guy.
Dumbass.
Yes. No, I did. It was my dad was I think he was in surgery while we were on the plane. I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to keep all these things straight.
And then he had a hard
You know where I was? In the fucking waiting room.
He had a tough recovery, and my mom was calling and texting. All I heard was,
yeah, right. I gotta record a podcast
another
in
rum
Jamaica.
Punch.
Yeah,
like, God,
exactly. You were walking and reading. I heard about that.
So I don't know how he's doing. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know. My dad's doing fine. He's still doing. He's going strong. We actually went and celebrated.
Is he still staying at your house?
No.
Where is he now?
He stayed with us for a year. By the way, Neil. Did your dad stay with you for a year?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes. Where is he now?
He lives in an apartment just up the road.
An apartment,
just up the road.
Not a house, not near your pond with your lake.
No.
So your dog can go see a cougar, but your dad has to look at the neighbors.
He's got to deal with his own
hear
stuff.
ducks.
You know what? It's important for their independence.
It's true. It's true. Now, when you say apartment, does it have a kitchen and a bathroom?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's got the whole thing.
You say apartment, but it's like in San Francisco.
He's got a TV and everything. Lucky guy.
He's got a microwave that is also a stove and his washing machine.
But next week, a week from today, as a matter of fact, he is turning 80 years young. And so we went back to Cincinnati where his brother lives.
Without him?
And no, we took him with us.
All right.
And went back and did a whole kind of birthday / family reunion trip. So it was a lot of fun.
Hey, this is where you were born. This is where you're going to die.
No, he's not from Cincinnati.
No,
That's just where his brother lives.
Oh, okay. How old is his brother?
His brother is 85.
Oh, wow.
And they thanked me repeatedly for coming up with the idea for us all to get together in Cincinnati to celebrate his birthday and have a family reunion.
That's nice.
So there you go.
So you paid for your dad to go out there?
I did not pay for my dad to go out there.
No.
And he stayed with my uncle. I was like, you're not staying in our hotel room.
No.
Don't even fucking think about it. No way.
Yeah, I'll get you an Uber.
Well, on his way home from the airport, he did.
Oh, that's funny.
But we had a lot of fun. It was a good time. I was trying to think if there's anything else to catch up on. Maybe just my ding-dongs are still fine.
Kids good?
Kids are good. My older son became a vegetarian for a minute. That was fun.
Oh.
For about 5 days.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's like, I want to be a vegetarian.
Vegan or vegetarian?
Vegetarian.
Okay.
I told him vegan's pretty damn tough.
Yeah. Vegetarian's not too bad.
No.
So what broke him?
I think he loves pasta and sausage so much. He was like, we're going to have it one night. He's like, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So that was short-lived. And I was like, you know what? You're 10.
Right?
You're 10.
Yeah.
You got time.
Yeah, you can try it. I go in and out of that.
Excuse me?
I'm in and out of vegans all the time. I mean, that's what I love coming up here. There are vegans everywhere or vegetarians up here. So I'm like,
you can get vegan food everywhere you go.
By the time I leave.
Yeah,
Eugene.
It's exhausting.
Just freaking
in and
out.
That's why you have fucking pepperoni pizza when you're here.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what? I'm gonna go the other way.
I just want a giant sausage in my mouth.
Oh, goddamn. My younger son has become infatuated with Friends. Yeah.
That one?
Yep.
Wow.
I don't know why.
Who's his favorite friend?
He started
Joey?
Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah. He started watching Friends on the plane home from Cincinnati and was laughing so hard that I had to like stop him because the whole plane was like, dude,
what is going on with the kid?
He's fucking laughing his ass off.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they're saying shit like, oh yeah, blah, 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 multiple orgasms. And he's like, you don't even know what the fuck it means.
That's all right.
But it's not appropriate.
No.
And it's really not realistic because there's no way they could afford those places.
It's really not real. Well, they explained that because that was the grandmother's apartment. Yeah.
So Rachel paid her a small amount because it was already their grandma's apartment?
Right.
Okay, how the fuck did Joey and Chandler live in the place across the hall?
That one I don't remember, but there was some other crazy thing with that. Like the person died.
By the way, you don't need to explain it. It's a TV show.
What is the theme song for that? I keep getting
I'll be there for you.
I'll be there. Yep. I keep getting the 21 Jump Street song in my head.
Gotta get ready to
jump.
21 Jump Street.
Down on Jump Street.
Yeah,
your friends will be there when your back is to the wall.
Yep. Holly Robinson.
Yep. Which hopefully Meet the Pete's next season will be coming.
I've never seen that show.
It's actually good. It's good.
I don't think I want to mess with that.
It's good. You should check it out.
I
know why.
Why?
Never mind. That's fine. That's fine.
Let me tell you one silly story.
Okay. It's been 1 week.
So my boys play soccer, and I help out with coaching
Football.
Football. But there's my younger son's team. There's 2 coaches, and they kind of got it covered. So I was like, if you need my help, great. If not, no worries, whatever.
Right.
And they're basically like, come, like, be on the sidelines during the games and help us out and all that stuff. But like during practice, we're probably fine. I was like, okay. So I go to drop my kid off one day. And I'm driving over this little neighborhood that's by us. And I drive down the hill, and I see all these fucking cops, like maybe 4 of them. And I thought they had somebody pulled over. I was like, what is going on? So I turn, I go down the street to the park where he's going to have his practice. I drop him off. I'm like, hey, have a good practice, blah, blah, blah. I'll be back in like 45 minutes or an hour. Like his practice is an hour and a half. So I come back for the scrimmage. So I'm going to go up the street to the coffee shop, do a little bit of work, come back. I drive up the street, and I start to notice now cops are blocking streets off. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So I go to the coffee shop, and I fire up my laptop, and I'm like, I'm going to go to the most voyeuristic site on earth, Nextdoor.com.
Right.
You know Nextdoor?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, of course. So I go to that. I'm like, does anybody know what the fuck's going on here? Apparently what happened is my community, the police department, have someone who operates on Facebook with like a fucking fake account and tries to lure criminals into
I'm Chris Hansen.
That, but not
that crazy.
Yes, right. So they contacted this guy who lived out west in Hillsborough, which is like 45 minutes away or 40 minutes away. And he was a drug dealer. And they said, hey, we're interested in buying. I mean, and the way they talk about it, it's like if they really talk this way, it would be hilarious. Like, we want to buy some heroin. Like somebody would just come out and go, I would like to buy some heroin, please.
Where do you know where I could purchase some Molly?
Right. And the guy goes, I got heroin and meth. So, I mean, again, this is probably paraphrasing.
Sure.
But they're like, okay, well, why don't you come meet us at the McDonald's in our fucking community, 40 minutes away from where you live, and we'll meet you there and we'll buy this heroin from you.
We'll buy a quantity of heroin from you.
Right, exactly. And so they go to do this. The guy pulls up. He parks. He's standing.
Was he in a fresh El Camino rolling Kilo G?
I don't know. I don't know what he was driving.
All right.
But he was standing outside of his car. Didn't have shoes on. Was standing outside of his car, just sitting there waiting for somebody to show up. Police officer rolls up, back up in place, fucking flip the lights on. Guy bolts.
Sure.
They don't find him for 24 hours.
Oh.
He is in the neighborhood, and they don't know where he is. They didn't find
Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Shoeless Joe is gone, and they don't know where he is. Yeah. This happened. So they're at soccer practice, and there's this dude on the fucking loose, and you look on Nextdoor, and it's like, oh, he just walked by my house. I just saw him walk by my street. Cops are like responding. They can't find the guy.
Yeah.
Finally, one of the cops comes out and says, this guy is the world champion hide-and-go-seek guy ever. I'm like, that's funny, but you unleash this dude in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
These people are fucking losing their minds because you just brought a drug dealer to their goddamn community. That's the kind of police force we have in our town.
Nextdoor. Well, I don't think your police force is probably used to dealing with that too much.
I mean, enough that they shouldn't have fucked it up that
like
bad.
911. Oh, my golden retriever got loose. And
my cat's in the tree.
Yeah. Right. As long as Madison is okay, we'll go.
Madison.
The Nextdoor.
Yes.
Is insane.
Oh, it is.
People on Nextdoor are insane
because it's your real name.
We get people using Nextdoor like Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I took this picture of this bumblebee on this beautiful flower today. Right. And then there's always the one that says...
Which, by the way, is fine because Facebook's a joke anyway. So if you want to put it on Nextdoor, that's fine. The only reason I read Nextdoor is for the fucking crime report.
I read it just to make fun of white people.
Oh, that's fair. You do live in Napa.
We get a lot of, people don't know the tone you're using when you're posting on Nextdoor. So if you don't have anything nice to say...
Right.
Don't say anything. We get a lot of those.
Right. By the way, I have 3 Afghans for sale.
A lot of those. We get a lot of. Does anyone know why there's a helicopter circling around?
Oh,
and it's not our community. It's somewhere else.
Yeah. Those are common posts.
Oh my god.
Did you guys hear it sounded like gunshots?
I so badly want to create like a fake account somehow, like use someone else's address.
Yeah.
And just respond.
But you mentioned the Facebook thing. There's arguments that start to spawn out of that just get real heated. Oh. Like somebody posts anything and all of a sudden these people start attacking each other. It's hilarious.
We had one that said somebody broke into my car. It looked like to be a 20-something year old black male blue hoodie, red backpack, black jeans, white shoes. Then someone will, oh, why do you have to say they're black? And everyone's like, well, how else? What?
White guy.
Yeah. How do you describe? But the person who was saying it was a white person. And I'm like, how do you describe? Like if a car went, this car hit my car. What kind of car? I don't want to say what kind of car it was. I don't want to say what color it was.
Well, there's a difference between describing a suspect in a suspected crime and telling a story about how you went to the grocery store and this guy pointed out that there's great oranges for sale that
Like
you should get. And you went, oh, this Hispanic guy came up.
Like my dad.
That has nothing to do with
that's
the story.
my dad. Yeah.
If you're describing
This gay
a
guy was
potential
helping me. Right.
criminal,
But it's like if
maybe.
you're like, hey, look out for this guy. Just broke into my car.
Sure.
I would, and everyone's like, well, hold on a second.
No, but there is certainly an element of people like defaulting to that. I don't know. I think it was a black guy. Like, did you really?
Well,
see?
That's
did you really?
That's the
opposite.
opposite.
I think you're just defaulting.
That's the opposite of some hoodlums.
Oh,
we're like, wait, what is that?
Hoodlum's not as bad as the other word.
No, that's true, but it's like what?
No, and I don't mean that word. I mean the thug word.
Oh, right.
Everybody likes to say thug, and it's like, dude, it's so fucking.
We also get about there were some Mexican kids, and people were like, "Are you sure
Were
they
they
were
from
in
Mexico?
El Salvador?"
Yeah.
And then it's like, well,
You
no.
know what I mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Oh, fuck.
And it's like, oh boy, here we
Come
go,
on, man.
But that's what I read it for because that's the best.
Yeah,
I do like next door.
I think that's all we have for this week.
It's a beautiful morning. Look at.
Shit's getting wild out there.
Is that out here?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Where do you think that's coming from? Inside your computer?
No, dude, I'm freaked out, man.
You got
I
a
don't
video
know what
playing?
you white people do in hotels. Freaking me out.
No, what's happening is we back up to where the main walkway starts for the trek over to the stadium, and so that's what you're hearing is some of that background noise. You're going to be fine.
All right.
You're going to be fine. Just stick close to me.
All right. Let's end it.
Thank you very much for listening to our show. Yes, this is weird because we totally ended the show a while ago, and now we're doing another episode, and there might even be another episode.
Mm-hmm.
But
there might be even another show.
This is just part of our process of kind of catching up and figuring out what we
Feeling each other out,
filling each other up, and what we might do next. And so thank you for listening. Really appreciate it. As a reminder, you can still find us at reasonsareseveral.com, although I have not updated that site in a while, so I apologize. Don't forget, you can still go to don'tgotopless.store and get gear.
You can.
We still have that gear. You can tweet at us at Reasons Are. Neil is at
AngelsFreak7. Sorry.
At AngelsFreak7. You can also email us at reasonsareseveral@gmail.com. We will have at least one other episode, and then we're going to try to figure out what we're going to do next.
And a new show.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Maybe a new show. Bye.
Bye.